I'll be honest. If my emotions had a nutrition label last year, it would have said this: 38% overthinking, 26% comparison, 19% people pleasing, 11% self doubt, and like maybe 6% actual joy. And the truth, I was consuming all of that daily. And I didn't even know it. No wonder I was exhausted. Not just in my business, but in my identity. So I sat down, just like I used to do in my job at television network, and I reverse engineered what I was really eating emotionally. And what I found changed everything. Hey, I'm Brad Holzman. I'm a former television executive, Emmy-nominated producer, and now the creator of the $2 bill brand, and I produce television on my own. And today, we're not going to just talk about your diet. We're talking about your emotional diet, not the food, but the emotional diet. Because most people don't realize the stuff draining you most, it's not your to-do list. It's your default settings. And if you want to build a brand that's bold, that's magnetic and unforgettable, you've got to start with what's feeding you. So today, I want to show you something I've never shared publicly until now. I remember sitting in the car one day, just parked, engine off, and I couldn't move. Not because I was tired, but because I didn't want to go where I was going. Meetings were draining me. There were calls that I just didn't want to make. People who loved me, but they actually didn't see me for who I am. But yet I kept showing up because I told myself, this is what success looks like, right? But it wasn't success. It was burnout. It was emotional burnout. It's what I now call being full of all the wrong stuff. Do you feel me? Are you feeling this? And that's when I came up with a framework. Well, I didn't come up with then. I came up with it now, looking back on things. Your emotional nutrition label. What is it? Well, let's break it down. You wouldn't buy food without checking the label, at least not me. And how many times have you looked at the label and put it back? So why do we allow people, projects, platforms into our lives without checking what they're feeding us? So here are 5 ingredients I found on my own emotional label that I've since cut down or cut out completely. Well, maybe cut down more so. And let me tell you, it changes your energy, it changes my content, and clarity. Number 1, comparison. Comparison. Oof. I used to scroll and feel behind. Sometimes still do. Other investors were scaling faster. Other creators were funnier. Other speakers were already booked. But comparison is just inflammation for your identity. See what I did there? You think you're researching, but you're actually erasing your own voice. You need to replace that with calibration. Don't compare, clarify. What are you here to say? Number 2, fake urgency. I need this by the end of day. Can we hop on a quick call? How many times have you heard that one? And 30 minutes later, 60 minutes later, that quick call turned into a very long call. Or can you just... Right. I particularly lived in reactive mode. Why? Well, it made me feel important, right? But all of it was just drained. It was just draining. You've got to replace all of that with creative urgency, the kind that fuels you, not pressures you. Number 3, validation addiction. Am I speaking to you? If nobody clapped, did I even say anything worthwhile? Well, that was my own mindset, and it kept me from sharing the stuff that mattered most. I may have been performing for applause, not impact. So you've got to replace all of that with self-sourced confidence. What is that? You got to create because it's true. It's who you are, not because it's trendy. Number 4, outdated obligations. Well, this one hit hard. Well, there's people I had outgrown, projects I no longer aligned with, conversations that went nowhere. You feeling me? But I kept saying yes. Sure you have, right? Because I always was the yes guy. Well, replace all of that with aligned responsibility. Just because it fit your past doesn't mean it fits your purpose today. Let me say that again. Just because it fit your past doesn't mean it fits your purpose today. And number 5, emotional numbing. You ever open a fridge not because you're hungry, but because you're uncomfortable? Yeah, same with your phone, right? Or binge watching. Or saying, I'm fine, when you're not. Replace all of that with emotional check-ins. Ask, what am I actually feeling right now? Because emotions that are unprocessed will eventually run the show. So I sat down one night and wrote it all out. My emotional nutrition label. And when I looked at it, I wasn't shocked. I was in fact relieved. Why? Because for the first time, I saw it. All the hidden ingredients that were quietly draining me. Not because I was weak, but because I hadn't stopped to check the label. So now, every now and then, I update mine. It's definitely not perfect, but it's helped me say no faster. And it's helped me say yes with more intention. So take a moment tonight, sit down and write your emotional nutrition label. See what you've been consuming without even realizing it. Or I'm sure you do realize it, but when you write it down, you'll realize it even more. When you do, ask yourself, is this actually fueling the version of me I want to become? If it's not, change the label. Easier said than done, but now you know. And that's the kind of clarity I want to help you build every week. So sign up at $2billbrand.com. That's $2billbrand.com. You'll get lots of these stories. No fluff, no gimmicks, just honest truth from me. Because you cannot build a brand that stands out if you're emotionally running on fumes. Stand out. Be unforgettable. Be the $2 bill. Tomorrow, we're going from heavy, which this was, to hilarious, as I reveal how my favorite snack taught me everything I know about branding. Yep. What's that favorite snack? Pickles. That's right. Pickles. You don't want to miss it.